Welcome back, y'all. This week we're going to talk about financial independence. I know, talking about money can be a little taboo, but to us it's really important. Really, it's important to everyone. So we decided that sharing our long-term financial goals will help hold us accountable.
So we met roughly 2 years out of college. We were both pretty new into our careers. I was working as an engineer. At the time, I kind of had a more conservative financial perspective on things. I liked to try and save. I set a couple of goals for myself. I wanted to try and save enough to get a down payment for a home, while also contributing and trying to max out as much as I could on a 401k.
Yeah, I was not necessarily on the same financial page. I probably came to the relationship with about $5,000 on credit card debt, another $5,000 student loans, which is actually pretty low compared to most people, about $12,000 on a car payment. Back then, for me, making around $40,000 a year, it was quite a big percentage of the income that I had. And I wasn't really saving much of anything. I was putting some money into a 401k, but it was pretty much just to get the company match. I wasn't going above and beyond and really thinking long term with my savings. I remember in the '08 recession, the company I was working for at the time gave us a pretty steep pay cut. It was pretty bare bones living for a while. I cut my internet, I cut my cable, ate pretty cheaply. I remember I would buy a sack of potatoes at Walmart, and I would literally have mashed potatoes or baked potatoes for like a week at a time. It was like $4 for a whole week of meals. So I've definitely come from a scrappy background. And about a year into our relationship, I woke up and realized I didn't want to live paycheck to paycheck for the rest of my life. And so I really started paying down my credit cards pretty hard. I would just put every extra dollar I had towards the credit cards, and I got rid of them pretty quickly in a couple of months. And one day when we knew that we were going to be married, Andrew helped me pay off my student loans in just a lump sum. So fast forward, we were just looking for something to watch. We came across the Suze Orman Show, and I don't know why we stopped to watch it. We did not watch financial shows. It was not a thing for us, but we were intrigued, and so we stopped and we watched the whole episode. And we were pretty much hooked from then. It was kind of like an aha moment that there were other people out there working towards financial goals, and that there was somebody actually coaching people on how to make money and save money for the future. We obviously liked the show a lot because we tuned in pretty much every week from then on. We learned so much, and we would just watch people call in and give their financial backgrounds and their situations, and just see how Suze would recommend different solutions to them or tell them what they could or couldn't afford. That was probably my favorite segment. And even though we didn't realize at the time, it was definitely kind of our gateway and our stepping stone to this financial independence journey that we find ourselves on still to this day.
So that was around 2013, and at the time we hadn't heard the phrase financial freedom, but it was something that as we were learning about it, we knew it was something we wanted to achieve and then one day ultimately become millionaires ourselves. And while our journey is a little unique, it's not something that's impossible for anyone who's working a corporate job.
Yeah, definitely not. Back in Houston, after we were married, we were employed in the oil and gas industries. So we both had good salaries, and we were trying to make the most of them. We were both maxing out our 401ks each year, and we had started to open an IRA as well, and still building up a robust savings account, which for us was 1 year of expenses, around $60,000. I know that sounds a little high, but for me personally, a large savings account is important because I grew up in a family where one of my parents was laid off quite often because they worked in the energy industry, and it can be very cyclic, so layoffs are actually quite common. So I didn't want to ever feel insecure about how much money we had in our savings account, especially because I married someone in the same energy industry, and I myself am employed in oil and gas. And I think more people, especially in the times right now with COVID, are seeing the need for a greater savings account.
So that leads us to 2014, when we decided to go ahead and start applying for some overseas positions. One of the positions I applied for was in Luanda, Angola, which is on the west coast of Africa. And we wanted to go overseas for the career opportunities and experiences, and also to enjoy some of the traveling that a different part of the world had to offer. However, we didn't realize the financial benefits it would also turn out to be.
Yeah, definitely. Going overseas meant two things that really greatly benefited our journey to FI. The first was a decreased daily expenses. So we both sold our vehicles. We no longer had car payments. We sold our home, and we made obviously a profit off of that we then invested. and we didn't have a house payment, and we didn't have a lot of the typical bills that most people have as well. The second was a greater income. There was definitely an uplift for going to a hardship location like West Africa, so we took full advantage of taking that uplift and just putting it directly into our savings. So those two things really helped us exponentially speed up our journey to FI. So we also need to acknowledge our privilege here. We're both half white. I'm half Mexican and Andrew's half Bolivian. We were raised by amazing parents that cared a lot about our grades and our upbringing. And our parents helped us pay for college. Really, our parents actually paid for the majority of our colleges. And we also made the choice not to have children yet, so that's definitely impacted how much we're able to save. And also living overseas, we've lived in some very poor areas of the world. So we also are very aware that just being American is privilege in and of itself. Even people that want to change their financial situation, they have big dreams. Sometimes in some countries, it's just not possible. And in America, really anyone can change their projection. I guess what I'm trying to get at is that just being born in America, we never want to take for granted.
So acknowledging our privilege and upbringing and couple that with our hard work and sacrifice, we're well on our way to achieving our financial freedom goals. And our big goal right now is continuing to grow our passive income. Do you have any passive income goals? If so, please comment below because we're pretty curious about what others are doing. Our current passive income stream is mainly dividends, and we're looking to continue to grow that income on a monthly basis. We still have quite a ways to go on this, but we'd like to take you along with us for the journey.
Yeah, we're looking forward to this new challenge. And we want to share with you how we got to where we currently are in future episodes and how we plan to grow our passive income streams in the future. So subscribe to our channel below, and we look forward to talking some more money with you next week. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up below. It really helps us newbies out on YouTube. And we'll see you next week, guys. Bye.
Bye.